The first gacha game I ever played was Brave Frontier, and man, that was a time. I was honestly like 15 or 16, so I didn't have a lot of money to throw at a game, but I was mainly free to play. This was the beginning of my gacha addiction. I was reined into the anime characters and the gameplay with these characters. Looking back on it, the gameplay was never good, but it was enjoyable in passing. And considering I didn't have any other means to play a lot of games at the time other than a cheap Samsung phone, this was a good option then. It was slow and barely able to run the game, but it got the job done. From there, my gacha gaming was leveled up every year. I played One Piece Treasure Cruise for a minute and quite a few other games that I don't remember. I think one of them was even something like Chain Chronicle, which shut the fuck down in like 2 months. I began to become bored of normal gacha games. I was always a gamer and played many things growing up, but at this time, I started branching off to other games like Monster Hunter, NieR Automata, and Persona, etc., etc. These games felt like they had more depth and value. I grew attached to these games, and as a reference, here is my collection of the best girl in all of anime and gaming history, 2B. I made my fiance wear this outfit to an anime convention and I was 9S, and did you know that when I bought this figure, I wasn't aware that this little thing right here is actually removable. So things changed when I started playing Arknights, and to this day, it's one of the best gacha games released. The story is great, the characters have depth, and the design of these characters are amazing. I've since dropped the game, but my account still exists, and I pop in every 3 to 6 months, get confused, do a little bit of content, get overwhelmed, and quit again, but that's besides the point. Newer and better gacha games started to be released, and they were evolving and getting better. Then one day, I heard about a new game, open world and gacha. This has never been done before, and there spawned my interest in Genshin Impact, the catalyst for all gacha gaming. Genshin Impact was the best thing on the market as far as a good gacha game. It was the first of its kind, and many other gacha games took their model with the structuring their gacha systems. That, in combination with COVID, where people didn't have anything to do, Genshin Impact exploded in popularity. It had all the structures to thrive and be amazing. I did take about 2 breaks in the 3 years that I've played this game, but I've always come back to it. If you actually check when the first video on this channel was released, it was on January 27th, 2021. I planned on taking content creation seriously from day one, but unfortunately, I ran into some health complications and that postponed my plans for about a year, but here we are. Wish I had started back then, but hey, what can you do? Genshin Impact is the pinnacle of gacha games. A fully voiced open world story with lore and multiple well-developed characters, that was crazy at the time, and expected of AAA gaming titles, but not a gacha game. And this is the reason why Genshin Impact is slowly becoming a pain in my neck that you just can't get rid of. MiHoYo, or known as Hoyoverse now, revolutionized gacha gaming and many people started onto this genre. At the moment, I'm playing Genshin, Star Rail, Reverse 1999, and in the background I play a little bit of Limbus Company and Arknights when I have free time. I also juggle college life along with this and a full-time job, so the benefits of gacha gaming are really great. You can pop on, play for 10 minutes or a week at a time, and well, at least until content's dried up, but you always did have that opportunity. It just baffles me that a company that started something so unique does not continue to elevate their amazing game. Luckily for us, competition is the only thing that promotes innovation and change. Genshin was ahead of its time, and had it been released later this year, it honestly wouldn't get as much attention as it would back then. We have games that are not only catching up, but also elevating the playing field for all gacha games. I mentioned how I played Arknights, but I've also played a lot of Punishing Gray Raven, and man, this game is great. The combat experience is top tier. My choices at the time were Honkai Impact 3rd and PGR, and once I saw 2B, 9S, and A2 were going to be in PGR, the choice was simple. I don't play PGR as often today, but I got all 3 of these collab units, and guess what? They're good. Top tier even. These collab characters are amazing and even excel today in many content regarding punishing Grey Raven. Meanwhile, Genshin collabs with Aloy and Horizon Zero Dawn and gives us the most dysfunctional kit ever seen in Genshin Impact. Like, it's astonishing how they set up Aloy to be just short of actually being good. Well, a few tweaks to her kit would make her above usable, and instead she has to rely on a C6 Shenhe and Kazuha to actually clear the abyss. It's kinda crazy. Now, PGR was developed by Kuro Games, and guess what's expected to be released in 2024 or 2025? Wuthering Waves, the quote-unquote Genshin killer. I've seen the gameplay, the smoothness of the characters, the pure love for the character designs in this game, and I'm getting the same feeling I felt when starting Genshin Impact. In addition to Wuthering Waves, Arknight's Enfield is coming eventually, and that looks amazing as well. With these juggernauts coming into play, if the disrespect that the Genshin Impact devs have given us continues, then people are really going to jump ships into the Wuthering Waves. I myself will be playing both games, but I've decided not to spend any money on Genshin Impact until I see significant, and I mean significant, changes to the way things are structured. I mean, I've been playing Genshin for over 3 years, and I've technically beaten the game. With the amount of characters that I have, there is no future content that will require me to pull for new characters. I simply pull for whatever character interests me, and at the moment that is Arlecchino. I love Arlecchino. I'm gonna get Arlecchino. Arlecchino's the best, and I honestly could go until the end of Genshin and not pull ever again, and I would be fine with that. There are still units that I like, such as Neuvillette and Navia, but are they needed? Well, no. Why would I spend my money to raise constellations and get weapons when I can already clear Abyss fairly easily if I really have to try? I don't think that I should be limiting myself to fully enjoy my characters. The entire Genshin Impact experience has been about raising characters, perfecting artifacts, and having your team fully built and ready to take on difficult content. And as a result, we get a bullshit timed Abyss challenge that we can pop in every 2 weeks, 30 minutes, beat it, and then do commissions for 2 weeks straight. Rinse and repeat. I hate this type of time challenge, and I would love for something like weekly bosses but scaled up, and some sort of reward for beating it in a team, or what have you. Like, these mechanics in these boss fights are actually pretty fun, and they're just ignored because the endgame players can just delete these bosses in 30 seconds. One thing I do know is that Kuro Game can make excellent boss designs, and besides PGR being a game focused on stages rather than being open world, I think the same can be translated into Wuthering Waves. I know that some people don't want endgame content, but it's not the only part of the game. I still enjoy exploring in Genshin Impact and experiencing the open world, and it's very easy to satisfy everyone playing the game with simple changes. That's the whole point after all. I do love the fact that local legends have been added to Genshin Impact because I can walk up to some random monster that I think is a joke and suddenly get one shot. That's kind of exhilarating, honestly. With Wuthering Waves on the horizon, I can't wait. Hopefully, they also collab with NieR Automata again and add in 2B, 9S, and A2 to the game, so I can finally see 2B's fine self in 3D again. Either way, Wuthering Waves characters look phenomenal so far, and the combat is so clean. Once I get into closed beta 2, manifesting, then I will be sure to be streaming Wuthering and exploring all of the mechanics, so stay tuned. Still here? Great. You may as well just leave a like on the video to let YouTube know that this video doesn't suck. It's a win-win for the both of us, and I would really appreciate it. Also, subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, Enigma out.